The University of Texas shook up the landscape of college football in the state with its decision to leave the Big 12 Conference. The Longhorns, along with Oklahoma University, are heading to the Southeastern Conference, or SEC. It may seem like just a sports story, but it's also a big money battle with a multi-million-dollar impact in the state. And just like on the football field, there will be winners and losers. The move to the SEC will likely make the Longhorns a winner when it comes to sports revenue. In the last fiscal year, the SEC paid each member school $45.5 million as part of its revenue distribution agreement. By comparison, the Big 12 paid each school about $8 million less. A major part of the revenue conference's share comes from broadcast rights for football, and SEC teams play in many of the most watched games. In the last regular season, the SEC had 2 of the top 3 most watched games. The Big 12 most popular game was the Red River Showdown between UT and OU. That came in at number 14 on the most watched list. When the Longhorns and Sooners leave, that likely means more money for them and less for the schools left behind, like Texas Tech, Baylor, and TCU. That means places like Lubbock, Waco, and Fort Worth could also feel the negative impact. And that has Texas lawmakers exploring what role they should play in this move and over future athletic decisions made by public universities in the state. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick created the Senate Committee on the Future of College Sports in Texas. The committee met for the first time Monday to study the athletic and economic impact to Texas schools and communities by the Longhorns' decision to find a new home in the SEC. The committee heard a lot of testimony critical of UT's decision. Several lawmakers on the committee added their own criticism of the Longhorns' move.
If you're as big and great as you think you are, you should have made the Big 12 equal or better than the SEC, and you didn't do it.
Maybe your fan base would rather lose to Alabama than TCU, so.
You've got a lot of trust, I think, at least with Senate District 22. You've got a lot of trust to regain because you've lost quite a bit. The system has lost quite a bit.
But State Senator John Whitmire had a different take, questioning why lawmakers needed to get involved in the first place.
And one thing I would say to everyone, where was everyone's passion when A&M picked up and left without asking the legislature? What the hell's going on here that A&M did exactly what UT's doing? We didn't have a hearing. We didn't hear the outcry from the communities.
Lubbock Republican State Representative Dustin Burrows filed legislation to require legislative approval before a public senior college or university can change membership in a collegiate athletic conference. His bill had 40 co-authors as of Monday, and a companion bill was filed in the Senate. But there are roadblocks to that legislation becoming reality anytime soon. The issue is not on the governor's special session agenda. That means it's unlikely to have a chance to pass before the next regular legislative session in 2023.
Will not sacrifice the quality of care for individuals with Alzheimer's and dementia.
People who think they're placing loved ones in specialized homes for memory care find that's not always the case. How a new Texas law aims to help families know what they're really getting. The political battles of today are shaping the future for the youngest Texans. How lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are working to keep kids in mind as they shape state policy.